Coming up on Screen Scene, the latest on the death of rapper Notorious B.I.G. We'll have reactions from his fans and the entertainment industry.
Plus, we'll look at Biggie the man. Who was he and what impact did he make on the music world?
And is it real or just media hype? We'll take a look at the so-called East Coast-West Coast rivalry.
Those stories plus the Soul Train Awards and Jamie Foster Brown when Screen Scene comes right back.
You gotta come up in your waist, please don't shoot up the place. Why? Cause I see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby, baby.
The rap world loses another talent. Rapper Notorious B.I.G. gunned down in the prime of his career. And across the nation, people are stunned by his death. Hello and welcome to Screen Scene. I'm Kathy Andrews.
And I'm Harold McCoo. He was once named Rapper of the Year, had hit records, and at the age of 24 had a lot more to give to the music world.
But the Notorious B.I.G. was silenced forever, cut down by a shower of bullets. Tonight, Los Angeles police are searching for his killer.
Oh, I like this. Yeah. Now, folks. To all the ladies in the place with
Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G., was in Los Angeles for the Soul Train Music Awards. He presented an award on Friday, and on Sunday morning he was shot and killed as he left a party given by Vibe magazine. Witnesses say he got into this sports utility vehicle on the passenger side and was killed when unknown assailants opened fire, spraying the vehicle with multiple gunshots.
We heard the shots and basically everybody started running.
Unknown suspects apparently fired multiple rounds at one victim by the name of Christopher Wallace, age 24.
Police have no suspects in the case, but say they are looking at a connection between Tupac Shakur's murder and the possibility of this shooting being in retaliation for the death of Shakur.
Given the fact that they were both gangster rap artists, naturally our people will be contacting the Las Vegas authorities to see if there's any connection in the two.
The murder has left rap fans nervous about going to concerts and parties where rappers are present.
What am I going to do now if I want to go to a Snoop concert and I'm scared because I think somebody might be after Snoop?
From his fans to the famous, everyone is reacting today to Biggie's murder.
That was a disaster. It shows that in our race, we still have the element, that's the negative element that's really destroying the positivity that we do have in our race.
This whole East Coast, West Coast rap thing, gangster attitude, gangster mentality, and this whole junior mafia thing, I just think that it's a money-making thing, and I understand and I love hip-hop music, but at the same time, we need to be perpetuating more positive images.
His kids are going to grow up without a father, and that's tough. And I hope that the fans and people can look at this and understand entertainment is entertainment.
Unfortunately, I'm really saddened by this whole thing, and I hope it stops because, you know, we're losing our young brothers and sisters out here for no reason.
And we have this reaction from Bad Boy Entertainment, Biggie's record company. They issued a statement saying, quote, "We are overwhelmed with grief by the death of a great artist, a family member, and our friend, the Notorious B.I.G."
Well, we all knew him as an artist, but who was this man we called the Notorious B.I.G.? Danita Harris takes a look at the life and career of a hip-hop artist.
"24-year-old Chris Wallace, also known as Biggie Smalls, used to be a street hustler. Selling drugs was his way of life until rap music became his full-time gig. Notorious B.I.G. was considered the mayor of his Bed-Stuy neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York. Everyone knew his towering presence, and everyone would speak to him, from old ladies to little kids. He never really thought he would have a successful career in rap music. He said he was just having fun, and he liked hearing himself talk over the beats.
Like his brother Keenan scheming. Don't leave your girl around me, true player for real.
In 1994, Biggie Smalls hit the rap scene with the hits If You Don't Know and Big Papa. He blew up within months and stayed on the top of the charts, dropping hit after hit. However, with all that success, he was just another rapper that was said to have lived a life similar to the violent one he portrayed in his music. But he was also a husband and a father.
It's my first son. I got a daughter too. That's 3. Her name's Tiana. But you know, a young guy have a little son. You know, it's my little trooper right there. So, feel good to have a little partner.
The Notorious B.I.G. also introduced other young rappers into the music business, the Junior Mafia, Lil' Kim, and several others. With all of his faults, Chris Wallace was just a man trying to survive in a world that he felt constantly criticized him.
It's just me being a black man with some money. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna always be wanting to point the finger or look at my past and be like, well, okay, this is his MO right here. This is what he used to do. So anything that he does now, it shouldn't be a surprise.
For Screen Scene, I'm Danita Harris.
There was something eerie about the title of Biggie Smalls' debut album. It was called Ready to Die. And Notorious B.I.G. talked to Screen Scene about what that title meant to him.
You know, I was just in a down state. You know, I had so much. If you listen to the album, it's kind of dark. You know, a lot of the singles were like up-tempo singles, but a lot of the songs that really meant a lot to me were dark songs, you know. Just going through a lot of problems in the hood as far as like hustling and just scrambling, trying to make it to the top. So when I finally got my chance, it was just a lot of anger in the lyrics, you know. And I was just ready to die. But now, with this new album, you know, I can't really rhyme about doing bad no more because I ain't doing bad no more. So it's like life after death, you know. It's like I'm being reborn, kind of.
Okay. Now, tell me about some of your favorite.
And Biggie Smalls' next album, Life After Death, is due in stores March 25th.
Coming up on Screen Scene, more on the death of rapper Notorious B.I.G. We'll talk about the so-called East Coast-West Coast rivalry and the similarities between Biggie's death and the death of rapper Tupac Shakur.
Plus, we'll have the scoop on all the hype surrounding Dru Hill when Screen Scene comes right back. Welcome back. When this tragedy first unfolded, the first thing a lot of people thought about was the similarities between this shooting and the shooting of rapper Tupac Shakur. Shakur was murdered almost 6 months to the day of Biggie's murder, and they were both shot while in their car. Each of their cars was riddled with bullets. So that brings us to the question, were the two incidents part of some East Coast-West Coast rivalry, or is that whole thing just media hype? 6 months ago, rapper-actor Tupac Shakur was killed following a Mike Tyson fight. Soon after his death, it seemed like the hip-hop world was getting over it. A rap summit was held to ease so-called tensions between East and West Coast rappers. 3 weeks ago, a few hip-hop artists received Grammy Awards. This past weekend, there was much fanfare at the Soul Train Awards. All seemed well. So is there friction between East and West Coast rappers? In a recent conversation with Screen Scene, Notorious B.I.G. said no.
I never really took it as a coastal war, you know, like, I never hated nobody from the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? It was a personal beef, you know what I'm saying? And I figure like this, that man has passed away, we just need to just let that be it. I kind of recognize the power that me and Tupac had to be able to have a personal problem with each other and wage a East Coast, West Coast beef. I mean, that's a coast against a coast. Just two regular dudes, you know? So since he's gone, I think I got to take his place and my place to take all the power I can to just squash it.
Comedian actor Steve Harvey went further to dispel the idea of bi-coastal rivalry. In February, Puffy Combs and Snoop Doggy Dogg made a guest appearance on the Steve Harvey Show. So what's all the talk about?
The East Coast, West Coast rivalry, man, was, first of all, it was two people who had beef. Two people who had a misunderstanding. And it was two people who the media took that beef and just blew it up to a bi-coastal war. I've been reading the news reports and I've been watching CNN, and it's kind of funny that the media is making such a distinction that he was an East Coast rapper, or he was a rival of Tupac. Somebody's been killed, man. Somebody died.
And the question remains, why was he gunned down on the streets of Los Angeles? And who was responsible? Of course, Screen Scene will keep you up to date on all the latest developments in the Notorious B.I.G. murder case.